What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to K-Taj NBA, and last night was a pretty great night for basketball fans, for the game of basketball, I should say. Unless you were a Bulls fan like me, I don't want to talk about that, guys. Anyway, Devin Booker dropped 70 points in 45 minutes in an NBA game. There was no OT in this game. Yes, an NBA player dropped 70 points in a basketball game, and it wasn't an all-star player. Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns, 70 points. And another reason why I would say this is a great night for basketball fans is because of March Madness. That shit was crazy. You see Lonzo Ball lose, and De'Aaron Fox dropped 39, and the Florida buzzer beater. Like, there was a ton of shit in March Madness too. But no, I could talk about that. I probably would be making a video on De'Aaron Fox if Devin Booker hadn't just decided to explode for 70 points. It still feels weird. It's been almost 24 hours since I've, received the news of Devin Booker dropping 70 points in a game. And I still can't believe it. It still doesn't make sense. How is this possible? And in this video, I'm going to break down how you guys should feel about this. Because one thing that I noticed after this happened were the different types of reactions I was witnessing on social media. That being, NBA fans, or someone like an NBA player, Jay Crowder, Isaiah Thomas. We're going to get into all of that and what you guys should think about this, where this game ranks in terms of great basketball games played. Now, I'm going to start out by saying that Devin Booker plays for a Phoenix Suns team that isn't meant to win, okay? These guys are tanking. It's clear. We all know. And it's just as we know this because Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Knight, Tyson Chandler, among veteran players that are shut down for this season because they want to get their young guys involved. They're starting a lineup, I believe, Tyler Ulis, Derek Jones Jr., and maybe, I know Allen Williamson's in the rotation. I'm not sure if he's starting. Marquise Chris. Those guys are starters. They set the record for the youngest starting lineup in NBA history a few nights ago. Their last game, I believe, against Brooklyn. So, first of all, don't expect these guys to get a win, especially against a team like the Boston Celtics on the road, okay? There's almost no shot. I mean, just look at their roster. It's incredible. It would be a major upset. Boston was favored by like 16 points or something like that. So that's how you know it was not supposed to happen. So the fact that I'm going to go up and see, people tweeting or whatever, 71 points in an L, and completely discredit Devin Booker because they lost, I think is ridiculous. Now, anybody that's comparing this to Kobe Bryant's 81-point game, you're also ridiculous because this wasn't even close to that. First of all, Kobe Bryant, they were down most of the game, and he led a huge comeback. What do you have, like 55 points in the second half, down to win the game. And, one of the reasons why Devin Booker's game I don't think should be seen as as big of a deal as that is because if you see what they were doing at the end of the game, Earl Watson calling those timeouts, they were actually fouling so they could get the ball back in Devin Booker's hands just to pad his stats. I mean, it's really cool that he was able to do this, and obviously he had an incredible game. He was 21 of 40, so shooting over 50%, dropping 70 is something else. But, the fact that they were padding his stats at the end, Kobe Bryant wasn't doing that. I mean, he scored 81 and he was unconscious, and that was an actual game. We all knew the game was over. At the end of this game, the Devin Booker game, we all knew that this was done. They were just seeing how many points Devin Booker can score. So yeah, I mean, this is just explaining the reasons why this is great, why it isn't as great as you guys think. So that's one reason. I mean, okay, they padded the stats a little bit at the end. They were close in this game. I mean, this game wasn't a blowout. They lost by I think 10 points. So, it's not like they got destroyed and he had 70 points in garbage time. It was like they were being competitive. And he probably scored like 63 points before the stat padding. And even then, it's like, that's crazy. I mean, they were giving the ball for every shot, but he did make more than 50% of his shots. So I can't say anything. If he was being hella inefficient, then obviously I could criticize this, but I can't. Now let's talk about what the Celtics players were saying. I thought that the post-game reaction was a little bit much. Now, I do understand that the fact that, and I'm talking about the Suns, because the Suns, everybody was happy. They had like a picture, everyone was posting pictures about it. Devin Booker 70, oh, congrats. Everybody was happy. And I guess they're jumping on the whole, okay, well, we should tank and get the good player, so it's okay that we're losing. But losing is never, you don't never want to lose. You don't play a game to lose. Losing, it should stick in your mind. You should want to win every game. And I don't like that everybody was so happy. It's hard. You know, that's one thing I'm taking away from this. And obviously the Celtics caught on to that because Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder both took exception to that. Jay Crowder commenting on the Instagram picture that NBA posted saying, I've never seen so many guys happy about an L. And then Isaiah Thomas after the game said they're worried about the lottery, we're worried about the playoffs. You know, taking shots. They weren't happy with how it was handled. They don't like, first of all, they don't like that, you know, this dude came on their home court and got their fans cheering for him to score a certain amount of points. They don't like that, and I know that. But they also don't like that, you know, these guys are putting so much stock into this one game because they lost the game. And, you know, I guess that's going to happen. You know, not everyone's going to be happy. The team that had 70 dropped on it by Devin Booker, they're not going to be happy, especially if they won the game. They're like, we don't care, like, we won. So, you know, that's a reason. I think it's justified what they're saying. I think they got a little bit too offended by it because obviously it wasn't that, I don't think it should have been that big of a deal to them. But if you score 70 points in a basketball game, that's incredible. It doesn't matter what type of basketball game it is or if you win or lose. If you score 70 points, that's pretty crazy. Regardless of other circumstances, the fact that he did it on efficient field goal shooting against a great team in 45 minutes of play against NBA calibers, you know, a star team like that, you know, that's big, that's huge. And the biggest thing is that he's 20 years old. Okay, I can't believe I haven't even mentioned that yet. If I did, then I don't know if I even mentioned that yet. I don't think I have. He's 20 years old. Devin Booker is 20 years old. 70 points at 20. No one's ever done that. That's an accomplishment no one's ever done. Most points in Suns history. That's another achievement, another milestone. Oh yeah, and most points in the TD Garden. Another one. And this, what is this? The sixth highest. He's the sixth player to score 70. It's not the sixth highest scoring performance. I think it's like 11 or 12 because Wilt had 70 like 6 times, whatever. But you know, it's making history, basically. That's what this is. And that's what we should see it as. There shouldn't be any comparisons. There shouldn't be like, oh no, we can't care about this because they lost. Acknowledge it. You know, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. Whether it means anything about their season, this is a lost season for the Suns anyway. They don't care. They could care less about, you know, win or loss at this point. Obviously, you want to win the game, and it would be so much better if they had won this game. But we gotta acknowledge it. It's a huge thing. Tip your hat to this man. But again, yeah, no Kobe comparisons. I don't even think there should be a Melo or LeBron in comparison to 61 or 62 because I think those games were a little bit better than this one. Personally, the fact that he's 20, maybe that gives him a huge boost. But still, you know, those guys got those in W's. They were red hot. They were making almost all their shots. Devin Booker took 40 shots. Great game, okay? Like, I'm not trying to hate right now. I'm just saying, you know, he wasn't as hot as those guys. He didn't get the win, but really not his fault that they didn't get the win. But it's just like the stat padding at the end. For me, that's like, okay, that's a little bit excessive. I can't put as much stock into it as I would have anyway. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment what should I make a video on, or comment how you feel about this 71-point game. I mean, 70-point game. I don't know why it says 71. 70-point game. What do you guys think? What does this mean to you? Subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.